15 more seconds to finish up your responses. Awesome. That was just some historical context going into what the Stonewall riots were, just to build on what we discussed yesterday in our lecture, and to help make sure that you guys have a fuller picture as we go into some primary source reading. Today, if you could move on to the next slide, our main inquiry is what caused the Stonewall riots? I'm sure we all have a general idea, and today we're going to be looking at some firsthand perspectives of people who were there in the first place. There we go. Sorry, I just got to let some people in. So again, we're looking at what caused the Stonewall riots, and we're going to consider the author's perspectives. So in today's annotations, you guys are going to be focusing on POV in addition to your significant statement. So make sure you're including both of those annotations. Let's see. I am going to restrict us to documents 1 through 4. You will have 15 minutes to read and complete these annotations. If you have any issues or questions, feel free to chat me. You have 15 minutes. I'll be charting and looking for your POV and significant statement. 15 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and get started. The link to the Desmos is in the chat in case you need it. You have 12 minutes left. You should be finishing up document 1 in 1 minute. Eddie, make sure you're reading and annotating, okay? Still missing some annotations on document 1. Please make sure that you are moving yourselves through the documents. We should be on document 2. Awesome. I see some POVs for document 2 noting that Sylvia Rivera was at the Stonewall riots. That's definitely something you want to include. If you don't have that Sylvia Rivera was at the riots, make sure you have that. We have 7.5 minutes left, but I'm going to pause our annotations. Just give me 1 second. Let me pause my timer. And I'm going to pause our annotations. Looking at document 2, I want to make sure that we're starting to look at the second half of the document. So where she says, here's your payoff, you pigs. Start reading that and think about how that shows the influence of the Stonewall riots. Why would somebody say that and then a riot would get started? Make sure you have that included in your significant statement. You have 7.5 minutes left. It should be on pause. Go ahead and get back to it. We have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to add some time to make sure we get to all 4 documents. I'm going to give us 7 minutes to get through document 4. You should start transitioning over to document 3 if you have not gotten there yet, but I appreciate all of the revisions in the documents. I also see some people still on document 1. Please make sure that you are moving through the documents, and participation in Desmos does count for part of your grade. So please remember to participate on all slides in Desmos. You have 4 minutes left. You should be transitioning to the last document in 1 minute. Two and a half minutes to finish up. Please make sure that you have moved on to the last document so we can make sure we have all documents. Seeing some awesome pacing from Ashley. And some awesome, thorough, consistent POV annotations from Skyan, Caleb, Kayla, and Shakim. I'm going to give us one more minute to finish up, so we have 2 minutes to finish annotating. Okay, that is time. I'm opening up one more screen for you on the very last slide where you can put your initial thoughts for what you think caused the Stonewall riots. You're gonna have 3 minutes to chart your response on that slide. Make sure you're also using a piece of evidence. I am keeping those documents open so you can have that piece of evidence. In the next 3 minutes, if your camera went off for any reason to it work independently, please make sure you get that camera back on in the next 3 minutes. Otherwise, it will have to change your participation grade. 3 minutes to respond into the Desmos. Go ahead and get started. Awesome. You have a minute and 45 seconds left to finish your response. Please make sure you also have a piece of evidence. I see some really thorough responses as a response, as an intro. Just please make sure you also have that piece of evidence that you can refer to if I call on you. You have 90 seconds left. Awesome. I'm going to give you an additional 15 seconds. I see us still typing our evidence. Love the use of documents in these responses. They give us 20 more seconds to finish up. Awesome. Can I hear from Kayla and then Giovanni and then Kamaya?
I said the Stonewall riots were caused because of the LGBT community wanting more equalization. In document 4, the LGBTQ magazine didn't like people walking around not being true to themselves, and there was a fear of being put back into the closet.
Sorry, Giovanni, are you able to unmute or are we having tech issues?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Thank you so much.
Okay. I said that the Stonewall riots were caused by the police because Stonewall was not licensed like many other clubs, but it didn't seem as a problem until the word got out that it was a gay club. And in document 4, the latter wrote that during ordinary times, the police had allowed these bars to operate, overlooking violations in return for a percentage of take. During election years, these bars had become the target for raids and roundup of homosexuals. I said the importance of the Stonewall and its role acting as a home for the LGBT community to feel liberated, having been rated on top of the struggles homosexuals endured as outcasts, angered them. In document 3, it says the club was more than a social gathering, and it was like basically a home for homosexuals, and when it was raided, they fought for it.
Awesome. So from Kayla, we heard that this club, that the raid was because the LGBTQ community was afraid of being put back in the closet and wanted to exercise their rights, their equal rights. We also heard from Giovanni that there is a lot of police targeting towards the Stonewall. And Kamaya also mentions this idea that the Stonewall was a super safe place for this community. Let's continue to build on these ideas. Can I hear from Alexis and then Shakeem?
I said the rating of the police was the cause of the riots because the gay community was fine and happy being themselves, because the bars were where they could express themselves and not have to be judged. But due to the police rating them, they were scared to come out because of the fear of not being accepted by the community and even the police. And in document 1, it explains how important the Stonewall was to the gay community and how the police shut them down because they did not have a license to keep the end up. So they decided to riot for their freedom and do what they want.
The event that LGBT members decided to rebel order to protect the Stonewall and went to the Stonewall riots because it was clearly established that their devotion to it and gained more attention from their communities to pitch in the riots.
Awesome. A theme that I'm noticing in a lot of these responses is that the Stonewall was special. Take 1 minute in the chat. Why was Stonewall different than other gay bars in that district? Why was Stonewall specifically being targeted? What do you think? Take 1 minute in the chat. Thirty more seconds. I see some awesome responses in the chat. Awesome. Sorry, I'm looking at your guys' chats. You guys are giving me a lot of information. I love this. Great. Can I hear from Shakeem, Kayla, and Ashley?
They said that it was a home film. Like even in the winter, they would pay to get out of the snow.
I said activists for the LGBT community went there and they were the ones with the voice. And I said it was too sanctioned.
I said not only did hold on, the LGBT fight to get back the Stonewall, other races and sexualities also helped them.
Yes, so that's something that's super important about Stonewall that we talked about yesterday, is Stonewall was not just a gay bar, it was specifically a gay bar that welcomed people that are the most marginalized of the LGBTQ community, whether that be people of color, trans men, trans women, drag queens, whoever would not be welcome in other places, they were welcome at Stonewall. So that is why Stonewall had a special place in this community. And it still is celebrated. Like you can still go to the Stonewall Inn where there are a lot of like celebratory things there in New York City. So if you're ever in New York City and this is interesting to you, you can still visit this place. Okay, I am going to stop our pacing in just a moment. I just want to make sure that you guys know that the next round of homework is posted and available for you guys to do. It will not be due until the Monday we come back from break. So you guys have about a week and a half to get this done. Also, quarter 3 grade book, I am completely shutting down this evening. So by this evening, you'll be able to see your permanent end to quarter 3 grades. If you have any questions about your quarter 3 grades before then, please let me know in the next 8 hours or so that way I can make sure I address. I think I've gotten to everybody that has either turned in late work or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure I've updated everything, but I would make sure that you guys do one final check of your APUSH grades and see if there's anything that looks off. So that way we can make sure your grade book reflects your best work. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. And awesome. Okay, I am going to stop pacing so you can go into slide 9 for your exit ticket. You're going to answer the question, what caused the Stonewall riots? And please make sure you have 2 pieces of evidence paraphrased. 2 pieces of evidence paraphrased. You have the remainder of class. Once I see a submission on Desmos and in Google Classroom, you will be free to go. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. On the exit ticket, I forgot to repost the prompt. The prompt is what caused the Stonewall riots. So it's just what we've been talking about. So your thesis, you can pull from what you answered in slide 8. Don't copy and paste, but you can still pull from. Make sure you use all of the information that you've heard throughout discourse to help influence your response. Awesome. I'm seeing some lines of reasoning in our thesis, as we should. Good job. Awesome. Thank you, Caleb, Shakeem, Kayla, and Sierra. I have all your responses. You guys are free to go. Have a great rest of your day. Awesome. Thank you, Skyen, Dwayne, and Jalasia. I have yours. You guys are free to go. Thank you, Kamaya. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Mahmoud. And Giovanni and Ashley, I have all of your stuff. Thank you, Heaven. I have yours. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and end the Zoom call.